Hello everyone, my name is Rosalie from rosaliesjourney.com, and today I want to share for the month of April through to the next full moon time period, mid-May, divine insights into different parts of our lives, but utilizing the information given to integrate and see how these insights apply in your everyday life, in your unfoldment on your journey, those of others, what's going on around you, and how to really use the divine resources and your resources that are all around you in another way to expand the newness, the rebirth of you coming out in a new way. So these are channeled insights that came through around the full moon, and there's a lot here. So take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you have any questions or would like to know more, or for me to expand a bit more on certain specific insights, comment below and I would be glad to explain or elaborate more, or do a specific video just on that to give you more in-depth understanding. Now, what you do resonate with, just to let you know, take time to really sit with it and see how it applies and how you can use it to your benefit. Really come into your heart center with these insights and what does stick out to you. All right. So one of the first, some I will be reading because it's a lot. A lot came through. The first animal guide that came through was wolf. Came very strongly. And if you've ever seen a wolf, it can be a bit like, wow. Their presence is made known. Now, wolf here is asking you to embody its essence. And also you can ask wolf spirit to work with you. For some, this is for the collective, mind you. For some, wolf may be your guide, may be your totem, or could be your power animal. And so wolf is here to remind you that some of you are, as things have changed and unfolded in your life to put you in another direction for your highest good, that some of you may be walking on a lone journey. And this is okay, and this is temporary, because this is really for you to find your new footing, to follow this new path that you're being led down, that you may be paving. You may be paving a new way. So wolf is asking you to take upon its leadership abilities, and the divine guidance, change is coming. You may be the leader in a pack that you're creating. So have that courage, that tenacity, that braveness to really pave your own path and be the leader of that pack, forging your own path. But also know that with wolf here, or utilizing wolf as a resource or a guide, also serves as you being protected through this new endeavor. The next was bee. Bee spirit came. And as I was grounding outside right before this, I got a little bit more message specifically from bumblebee. But bee is just in general. Mind you, there's so many different species of bees, and they all serve a divine purpose. The main message behind bee was sunshine, fertility, pollinating your new beliefs, or the beliefs that you have that are really ingrained in you, that are your value or part of your core essence, pollinating it in a new way. Now, and being creative. So now keep in mind, when with the pollination, that was part of the message from bumblebee spirit as I was watching it, pollinating the little blossoms coming off of one of my cherry trees, our cherry tree. As I was sitting there grounding, observing it, bumblebee was specifically saying about how when they're pollinating, they grab the different when they're pollinating, they're going from different blossoms, different flowers, and they're taking that essence from within the center of the flower, or the flower's heart center, and taking a little bit of essence and mixing it with the other essences from other heart centers around. So it's also comparative to using all of your unique abilities and pollinating it in new endeavors of creativity and new, that's the fertility part of it, because when it's pollinating, going from blossom to blossom to blossom, it's mixing a little bit of what it blossomed over there and a little over there. So if you think about all of your aspects to you and then bringing it together and creating something new with all that you have learned, giving it a new life, or creating something brand new for this earth, for all of us, that will serve the highest and best good. So that was Bee, and more recently today, Bumblebee's message for the collective as well. The next insect or spirit animal insect from the nature kingdom that came was butterfly. Butterflies are beautiful beings, but mind you, there's a process to it becoming a butterfly. A lot of us are in the stage or season of becoming that transformed, or have already undergone the transformation of becoming this new winged creature, symbolically, shining your wings and being able, from being on the ground to now being able to take flight in a new way. Butterflies are also pollinators. They go from blossom to blossom to blossom. They're also pollinating to create new birth, to create new ways of being. Of course, butterflies' main symbolism is transformation. New birth, but also rebirth. It can vary. The love and joy on the way to embracing this new change that is emerging, or the change that you're bringing from your blossoming. The next one was lady beetle, not necessarily ladybug. There is a distinct difference. This was specifically lady beetle, or could be of the Asian lady beetle, or ladybirds in that category. But it specifically wasn't a ladybug. It was the lady beetle. What the message I was getting from this creature was to get busy in your joy. They are creatures that they go on adventures and they explore, learning new things, seeing things from new perspectives, exploring things that give you joy. Mind you, they also have that kind of hard exterior, but underneath that hard exterior are wings to fly. So not only are they crawling with their 6 legs, but they also are capable of flying and going to new parts. They're also attracted to warmth. They're also attracted to sunlight and all that is sunshiny. Next animal was mourning dove. Specifically the mourning dove, the ones that you may hear in the morning that goes, coo, coo, coo. Now, mourning doves are peace. They represent peace. Peace is coming. Some of us are still going through this birthing period. And as you know, birthing anything, it's an experience. And sometimes it has its challenges, because we're letting go of something that was and birthing this new, and it can be uncomfortable for a lot of us. So mourning dove is here to say peace is on its way. Peace is coming. Allow yourself to mourn and feel your feelings of what is no longer serving you, or also allow yourself to mourn the parts of you that aren't coming with the new birth. Allowing that process. You can't skip steps. You have to allow the process so you can fully embody the new. So take that time when you need to feel your feelings, when you need to cry. Allow yourself to release it, to mourn that loss, but also show your gratitude for what that served you to get to where you are. The next one that came was red roses. Specifically the red roses. Obviously they come in many variations, but red rose came in my vision. The first message that came was sacred sexuality, embodying this feminine energy within you, that sexual energy, that sacral root chakra energy, that creative essence. Now that can be used in many ways. I will allow you to take it the way you need to take it. It will serve you the way you need to be served at this time. But since we are in the northern hemisphere anyway, are entering and are in that spring season, that new love essence, that new love, self-love for yourself, but this also can blossom into new love interests, new love from friends, giving and receiving love. Sexual healing also is associated with red roses. Healing, love at hand, as I mentioned, a new birth in love, beauty, the sun, earthly passions, igniting. And red roses specifically are a very, very sacred flower. I love red roses. The next flower that came was violet. Now, violet is reminding us about making things simple, simplifying, simplification in all areas of your life. We don't have to, we're coming into this time of remembering how we don't have to work so hard to get to where we want to go. Work has to be done, don't get me wrong, but we don't have to work in the same arduous way we used to. Things are changing and evolving in a new way. So it's about simplicity and modesty. Also associated with the fairy realm, also the violet fire energy of transmutation. You can call upon that too. Some of you already have it within your auric field, and you can just call upon it and activate. Some of you can call upon it. Anyone could call upon it. These are energies and resources available to all of us to utilize for the highest and best good. New opportunities are coming. Sensitivity has to do with your dream state as well. Magic as well. You might be remembering or realizing new magical abilities emerging within you. Embrace it. This is who you are. You are more than your human body. Now, here's another two combination in the flower realm. Tulips and daffodils. In this northern hemisphere in North America, specifically I always have noticed that tulips and daffodils usually will emerge because they are where is it? They're I forget what it's called, but they're the type of bulb plant that is firmly rooted into the ground, and they emerge every year. Every year, you know it's spring is here when the daffodils and the tulips start to emerge. And that's very symbolic for us to remember, specifically trusting in success, trusting that you will be successful. The other message is from tulips specifically is wear colors that make you feel successful. Tulips come in a range of colors and sometimes a mixture of different colors, whereas daffodils are yellow, which that's a whole nother message. Daffodils being yellow has a lot to do with the sunshine, new emergence, new creativity, your solar plexus energy, where you have your pride in yourself, your being assertive and taking action in new creative endeavors. But the other message with tulips is clearing out old thought patterns, staying grounded and firmly rooted so that you can, on these cycles that we go through, because I've come to believe that, you know, we live in when we go through life, it's a spiral. It's not just linear. We go in a spiral. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. We go through different ranges as being humans here on Earth. Now, it's also asking you, daffodils specifically, to focus on your inner beauty. Get clear on your thoughts. Discover new and renewed creative outlets for energies to embody within you. And I thought that was a great message. The next one was a tree. Magnolia tree. And I did have to look up a bit with this, which they had led me that, because sometimes they lead us. And if you feel led to look up something a bit more, follow that message within you. You're being led to that specifically, sometimes so that when you are looking through or reading through something about a topic of interest, certain words or sentences or phrases will stand out to you, and that's the message. So if you feel called to look this up or any of these messages, do so. So the message with Magnolia is to recover what has been lost. That can mean many things. What I'm getting again right now with that message is parts within us that we may have forgotten about because we may have gotten so bogged down with the old way of being that we may have pushed something aside within us that actually is a great creative talent that needs to be used now. So recover what has been lost. Also, your faith and ideas may be tested. Now, mind you, being tested isn't a bad thing. Sometimes when we're tested, which we all are at different stages of our journey, it serves a greater purpose of us standing more firmly in our value systems, standing firmly in what we personally believe in, even if no one else doesn't. So sometimes when we're tested on our ideas, or our faith is being tested, it's for a reason to really be strongly, firmly rooted in who we are and what we do and what we have to offer. The other thing that was neat is that this tree and its blossoms have a bisexual nature. And I was like, that is interesting. I consider myself bisexual. And so that hit me when I went to read. And it's a bisexual nature, but this is an evergreen type tree. And they are tolerant trees. So what it was mentioning was sometimes these trees, because they do well in many different circumstances or environments, or arduous environments, like if you're in a busy city with all the different fumes and types of energies around it, they still thrive. So we can take that lesson from Magnolia tree also and just really standing firm in your faith that you can still blossom in any environment when you're really sure of who you are. Also, when you're recovering those parts that are lost with you, are lost possibly within you, this could actually, now that I'm thinking about it, could apply to something physical. Maybe you put something away and by clearing things out, may find something that you really serve you now that you forgot about. Let's see. So they are firmly rooted and tolerant, even when not in the best of environments. They also are the type that don't have many pests or insect intruders with their blossoms or the fruit that they bear, which is in another side note. They're so firm that like anything that tries to come to them, they just end up not being interested. That's a quality we can learn to exhibit as well and embody. If we hold true to our ideas and have faith in them, the pests will just disappear. These energies within this magnolia tree are helping us to strengthen and activate also our heart chakras and our higher intelligence. I thought that was a really nice message. The next tree that came was birch tree, one of my favorite trees. If you've seen a birch tree or a forest full of birch trees, they're the ones that have that white bark that can sometimes you can peel, or it will start to self-peel. Message from birch tree was balance and healing is necessary. No skip steps. That keeps coming up to me. There's no skip steps. You have to still go through a process of healing and finding your balance, no matter what stage you are in your journey. Be open. It's also the opening of new dimensions. And what came to mind is the veil, what people consider the apocalypse, Armageddon. All these different terminologies for this current time we're living in is really just the veil, meaning literally a veil, like a rising of the curtain to see what's truly behind the scenes. that's lifting more and more and more. And the message with birch trees is to help clear out the old ideas that are no longer serving the new you. The new you that's unveiling itself as well as we continue on. So that was some of the more detailed messages. Another one that came was grass. And the message from grass, or the essence feeling that I got from grass is a ground cover. It's a protective, it goes on and on and on and on. And it keeps growing also year after year. It just keeps going. Sometimes it dies, but then sometimes it's a type of ground cover. But the message with grass is, one, it's soft and lovely to sit on, but it also serves as a protection for the energies or beings or insects that are growing and live underneath it. It serves as a ground cover. So grass is here, one, asking, there was kind of a twofold message. One, enjoy it. When you're going outside to get grounded or barefoot grounding, it feels wonderful on the soles of your feet. It's saying do it. Because that segues into the next one, which was sunlight, getting the sunlight. As many, well, I don't know how many, but the feeling I'm getting is more and more people are realizing that the sun does not cause cancer. That's a myth. That's another thing that will be made, that will be illuminated in the right way. This solar luminary actually does wonderful things to help cleanse us. I think I mentioned this in last month's insights as well. Sun gazing, sunlight, getting that sunlight that helps not only our human vessels to grow and expand and receive new energies and light codes and activations, but it also, I say activations because I'm sure some of you have come across hearing about the solar flares. That's energy, and with the energy coming to us to awaken new parts of us. Third eye activation, light codes. But also this sunlight helps cultivate growth. It helps the plants grow. It helps the grass grow. It helps things blossom. We need the sunlight to grow. It serves a purpose. Get out there and get some sunlight. Now, the other thing I'm feeling called to mention right now, specifically from my own personal experience, but also what I was reminded. Some of us, when you're sun gazing, especially as the sun's rising or the sun's setting, not necessarily when at high noon when it's really high in the sky, very bright and very illuminated. A lot of us are able to look directly at the sun. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not asking you to look directly at the sun. I'm just sharing my personal experience. I have learned through practicing doing sun gazing so often and for such a period of time practicing that my vision literally started changing. I was able to look at the sun and see so many different color aspects to it now, and so many new light codes. And it did help activate my third eye and other parts of my body in a brand new way. And I started to remember how much I needed the light codes. And then through different series of events and spirit journeying on my own, I was able to understand more, especially with melanated skin, how we absolutely are able to, now I'm obviously very fair skinned, but I have a lot of melanin within me. And I was able to see my higher self in another timeline where my skin was actually it was like little solar, I don't know what to call it, but it was like little things. And as I faced the sun, it was almost like little parts, scales, not scales, they weren't scales, but it was just like parts of my skin were able to receive. And basically it was implying that you're able to receive this wonderful energy to totally rejuvenate your body and your skin in a new way. I'm sure me sharing that little bit will resonate with who it needs to reach. I trust that. Let's see here. Forgiveness was a message that came. Forgiveness. Forgiveness for yourself. Forgive yourself. Some of us tend to be very hard on ourselves. We tend to just go really too far. I'm one of those. And I have to forgive myself and show myself compassion. And I share that with you too. That was the message, to just show forgiveness. Be forgiveness. We're all learning and growing. And sometimes we have to learn through trial and error. And that's okay. That is okay. Forgive yourself for what you did not do. Forgive yourself for what you did do. Whatever way that applies, show yourself that grace of forgiveness. And forgive others because they're learning and growing just like you in their own way, even though they're going on another path that may be very different from yours. That's their path to go. Extend the forgiveness, even if you're not saying it to them, say it in your heart, so that you're releasing that guilt or whatever you're hanging on to from whomever may have hurt you or have intentionally did something to you. Give that forgiveness for yourself to let it go, so you're not hanging on to anything from the past that may be hindering your full blossoming of this new part of you coming out. Let's see here. Fox spirit came. Fox has been coming up a lot for me recently, and others that I do readings for. And the message was, as you're emerging and these new creative endeavors are coming to mind and you're starting to create, you're starting to do new things, some things take time. And Fox spirit is here to say, be quiet. Keep quiet about your plans. And also, Fox alternatively also is a reminder that magic is afoot. Magic is in the air. Magic is within you, creating something magical. Shh, keep quiet about it until it's ready to be revealed. And then you're able, I'm seeing it like then you're able to start promoting it and doing this and that. Be quiet until then, because you don't want anyone interfering with what you're creating, because most of the time they probably don't even understand fully what you're trying to accomplish. I just got a ring in my ear as confirmation. Cat came too. Cat is all about being independent. They're self-sufficient for the most part beings, except unless you have an indoor cat where you have to feed them and change the cat litter box and all that stuff. But in general, you could leave them in the house and they're very independent to keep themselves occupied and entertained and all of that. Cat is asking us to embody that, especially some of us who are on that lone wolf journey, so to speak, to really just embrace your independence, your inner independence. The circle, the shape circle came to mind. I wasn't quite sure what that meant because I felt this was, a general collective reading and that can serve many purposes. But what I'm getting right now is sometimes come full circle around to something kind of like the spiral, like I was mentioning here. But sometimes coming back around to where you started because you went through that whole process of the circle, where then when you come back to that start, that point A, I don't know why that just came to me, but when you come back to point A, because you went through that whole cycle or circle, you're now able to look and create from a new way because you have that new added input. Coming back full circle is what I'm hearing. But coming back full circle, it's inevitable. You're going to have a new point of view, a new perspective with that. Beaver. Oh, wait, no, let me skip. I skipped one. A couple, actually. Rain. Part of the spring season is rain. A lot of rain comes to help nourish new growth, but it also helps release. Excuse me. I was releasing through that burp. How I'm seeing it right now is, so let's say you are a tulip and you're pushing through the earth. Sometimes the rain pouring down is actually opening up, it's moving, brushing things away to really help you emerge by releasing what's maybe blocking, not blocking, but just making it easier for you to emerge out of the ground, so to speak, emerge from the earth in a new way. Rain serves a purpose, and it's coming to me right now. Some of you are rainmakers. When it's raining, go outside, allow the rain to come over you, and work with your abilities, your powers. Even if you don't know how, take some deep breaths, meditate beforehand, or ask rain in your higher self on how to work with that element. I'm a rainmaker, so I'm sharing that with you. Go practice, practice. Allow your, I'm not going to say how to do it. Allow, everyone has their own unique way of doing it. Allow yourself to move the way you need to move. Your body knows. You know. Just allow it to emerge out of you, that new magic. That's what Fox is saying, that allow that new magic to come out of you. It's not new. It's been there within you. But a lot of you may have mastered some of these abilities throughout many lifetimes. So utilize that. If you feel called to, practice. It's your sign to practice. Let's see here. Golden ray. So golden ray or gold ray energy came to mind. The first thing that comes to mind is the Palladian energy. It's Palladian healing energy, but the golden ray is also a healing energy that we can utilize. And the golden ray of light is about cleansing. It's healing. It's also about protection. And you can also use it to help muster up the boldness to do new things and shine in a new way. There's many, many more to it. Like I said, if there's anything you want to know more about, just comment below and I would be glad to expand a bit more about it. I still have a whole lot to go and I'm already at 30 minutes. So let's see here. Beaver. Beaver came, as I mentioned in the full moon insights. Beaver is here to remind you about setting firm foundations. Sometimes you have to move out old logs, old things that aren't serving, and take advantage of the resources around you. You may, like Beaver, seeing Beaver with finding new logs to work to reinforce their dam or their home in a new way. Restructuring. Some of us have to lay out our foundations to really make it more solid as we have changed and emerged in a new way. So Beavers here is an ally, as with the rest of these that I'm speaking on, that you can call upon when you need help and support. And they're glad to be of service, which is why they came up as insights for the collective. I mentioned birch tree. Tiger, we're still in the year of the tiger, and tiger was just reminding us, hey, I'm still here. I'm still here to help you with your emotions. I'm still here to help you through the waves. I'm still here to help you build up your courage. One of the other things that came to mind was symphony. Creating a new symphony, a new song. But with it being a symphony, that's not just one person, it's a group of different sounds. This could be looked at in many ways. The first way coming to mind is collaboration. For the South way, I'm seeing it as collaborating, utilizing, integrating all of your skills and talents. Many of us are multifaceted, creative geniuses. I mean, all of us are in our own way, but not all of us are consciously aware. So for those of you learning about that within yourselves, take stock of all of your abilities. If you got to write it down so you can have that objective view of yourself. You have all of these gifts and abilities, and then it's turning. Canary's like, yeah, you're singing a whole new song with your symphony of abilities and talents and gifts and love, and sharing that. Sharing your symphony could be your story of all the things that you've uncovered from the shadow work you've done, the hidden gems you've discovered while doing shadow work, things you forgot about. They're like, oh yeah, that's a skill and talent. Some of you are also remembering past life skills and talents or things that are inherently come down from your ancestral line, for you to bring to the fore, to create something new and unique and authentic to who you are, which is of service for the world. Take that as you want. Eagle came. Eagle. It's part of that rebirth. Eagle has many messages. Of course, it's looking from a higher soaring at a higher perspective, looking at life from a higher perspective with your clear vision, soaring to higher heights in your journey, your thought process, higher thinking, connecting with the higher realms. But I'm also seeing ego, how it comes down and grabs, it sees from that high perspective its target and can just soar down and grab it with such ease and grace. It's fish out of the water. From all the way up there, just boom, gets it. We have those abilities. Ego is saying we have those abilities within ourselves too, to have that higher perspective, look at everything around us, and keep our eye on that target that we're going after, that dream. Keeping our eyes focused on that, and then swooping in, making ourselves available for that opportunity that presented itself to us. That's Eagle's message. Cardinal, which is a red bird, showed up too. It was about remembering your passions. Remember what you're passionate about. Alternatively, cardinals, I also associate them with the angels being near. So if you start seeing cardinals near you, just know that you're surrounded by passionate love from the angels to help guide you along your way as well. Earthworm came up. Earthworms serve a great purpose in cultivating the soil, enriching the soil, so that the seeds that we plant can grow and expand and blossom in new ways as well. Earthworms serve a great purpose. I just heard when you see them on the sidewalk so far away from the earth, if you feel brave enough, pick them up, throw them back. You don't have to throw, but bring them back to the soil. Because they when it starts to rain, with all the rain, they come out and they're exploring. But, serving the earth and serving its creatures and assisting, you can also show your love and bring them back over to where they go so they can stay alive and do what they do. Everything serves a purpose. And earth, and the other thing I was shown after that was soil, cultivating the soil for the new growth. A lot of us are coming into understanding our green thumbs, or maybe lack thereof, but we're learning. It's the season to grow and to sow, to grow, and for these the seeds to blossom. And the soil needs to sometimes be a certain way to really help things blossom. So I'm seeing something about looking at the pH or something to that effect. Doing what you need to do to enrich the soil. Sometimes the earthworms are needed to enrich that soil. Some places you can buy earthworms. Okay, earthworms showing me too. They're the type of being where even if they lose part of themselves, I want to say they might have many hearts. I didn't look deep into that, but that's just coming to me. They have many hearts, so they're pumping a lot through them, but also they can keep going even after they lose a part of themselves. They keep going. They keep going. Rosemary is an herb plant that came to mind too. Rosemary serves many, many purposes. One, you can use it for your hair as an oil to enrich your hair. They also serve as great shrubbery. They ward off certain pests in your garden, so you may be wanting to plant rosemary in different places. It also is a great herb to cook with. It gives much great flavor, rich flavor, and the aroma along with that as well. I'm seeing hands taking off some of the pieces of leaves from the rosemary and then just rubbing it together. You may have some oil, but just taking that in, it does some great aromatherapy for your well-being and your senses as well. The colors yellow and orange came together, and that's associated, I felt the yellow is associated with solar plexus, the orange is associated with the sacral. Keep in mind those lower chakras, working with them. Those have to do with that sexual energy. It has to do with that courageous, being assertive, asserting yourself with the leadership abilities that are coming out of you as well. Wearing those colors if you feel, incorporating those colors in your attire as just symbolism to be like, yeah, I'm going to work on this, or I'm going to work on this. So yellow having to do with creative abilities as well. Alternatively, it could be that that's where some of the healing work needs to be done, is in your solar plexus and sacral region, those chakras, yellow and orange, or maybe that just resonates with you, yellow and orange. Let's see here. Ant spirit is also about being industrious. That is also about taking the lead. Ants, if you watch them, even when they're exploring, let's say some ants got in your house, it's that season too. They're looking for food. That helps us get going on cleaning our houses too, in those crevices, all the crevices that we may have missed perhaps. But the point ant is getting is, they're very independent creatures as well. They're very strong creatures. They're able to carry weight, I want to say 2 to 3 times their own weight, maybe even more. They also work together as a team when they have to. They're loving creatures that serve a purpose. And if you've seen those videos, they create magnificent home and paths and tunnels through the soil and dirt and earth. There's so much we can learn from these creatures. And I feel like a lot of times, because of the way we have been programmed and distracted from our own inner essence, that we forget how powerful and needed these creatures are, and the lessons and medicine and wisdom that we can learn, not just from ant, but ants really pushing this right now. Just really appreciating the value in all living creatures, all living beings, including the plants, the trees, the flowers. Everything is energy. Everything is a spark of God. I'm getting real emotional right now. I'm feeling this passion. Start looking at Earth and its beings and what is all around you from another perspective, from a higher perspective, and see the interconnectedness of all of us. That is also, I'm seeing Y circle, coming full circle with understanding the cycle of life that we all go through. I'm getting it now. Thank you. I just needed to speak it, and now it makes sense. Which that leads to the next one, harmonics. And this was from Dolphin Spirit. And I feel like this is also connected to symphony, as I mentioned earlier. That was quite passionate, ants. They're like, we're quite passionate beings. I just heard them say. Thank you, ant. Let's see here, 42 minutes now. 42 is one of my favorite numbers, which has to do with 6, because it's about balance and harmony. And today is actually a personal 6 day for me. Harmonics. That can have to do with your sonar, your third eye, your telepathy, your telepathic abilities, but also the different harmonic levels of understanding within us, but also within everything. So I can see how that coincides. What else did you want to say, Dolphin, about harmonics? Just being all that you can be. You are different levels of harmony. You are many levels, different harmonics levels within you. Just like the chakras. There's, if you look at just the base, even though there's way more than 7 chakras within our body, but just the main 7 that most talk about, each level of your chakra has a certain resonance with it. And when they all come together and open and are in balance and harmony, a beautiful harmony or harmonic resonance comes over you and in your auric field, and you're well balanced. And that's what Dolphin is insinuating here, is to come into balance with yourself in the harmonic essence of your being, to come into balance so that you're also operating at your optimum as well, to create what you came here to create, your purpose. Thank you, Dolphin Spirit. I just got a few more and then we're almost done. Slug. Slug came out. May not be the prettiest, but everything serves a purpose. Slugs. They're like snails, but they don't have the shell. They go slow. They have a slippery essence to them. They have a residue to them, a clear residue. It's mentioning appearances are deceiving for some people, but you have found your path. But also the appearance may be deceiving to the path that you're on. It may not seem like this is the path I'm supposed to go on, but mind you, everything serves a purpose. Some things aren't necessarily, everything isn't always revealed right away. So the message I'm getting here is, but the message with Slug that came out was, but you have found your path. Even though it may not look like it is, you are on your path. I feel like this was more of a reassurance, like, hey, slugs go slow, but they keep going. And they have little antennas. I have a video on TikTok about slugs. I don't know if I posted it to YouTube, but I will. They have their antennas. They know what's going on. They're very receptive. They're also on the ground usually. They like the rain, the water. So emotions, slow and steady, process through your wave of emotions. You're on the right path. You are on the right path. You are on your path like you should be. Know that. Remember that. Let that sit in you. Dog also came up, reminding you of what are you loyal to? Are you loyal to yourself? But also remember who is loyal to you, even when humans may not be that loyal to you. Know that everything around you, earth, the creatures, when you're alone and you go outside, there's still so much around you. Even if you're in the city, if you really look for it, look for nature. Look for essences of nature, those glimmers of nature, whether that's the daffodil on the sidewalk or the tulips over there, or the birds singing, or the morning dove cooing, or the rain coming down on you. You're never alone. Oh, I'm feeling this. You are never alone. And if you are aware of the spiritual realms and the other dimensions, as most of us are going to come to realize one day or another anyway, you really are never, ever alone. You are so loved. You are so cherished. You are not alone. Just really take the time to look around you. And you'll see it. And when you start to see it and observe it, then you'll start to feel it. And that will help you get through to the next step of what you came here to do. I know it's hard sometimes. I know it myself personally. It's hard being alone sometimes. But when you really sit and observe and look around, you're not. You have to also choose to see that, to feel that. And dogs reminding you that the loyalty is all around you, even when you think it's not. It's there. But also remember, what are you loyal to? It's a food for thought question, dog pointed. And the last message, use your voice for good. Be mindful of the words you're speaking. Your words have power. Everything you say has power. Use your words and your voice for good. And the little blip from the Bambi cartoon from Disney, Thumper and Bambi, remember he said, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. That was the image that came to mind, and it was felt to share from Thumper the rabbit, which is all about fertility. Rabbits are about fertility and blossoming and passion. They carry a lot of sexual energy too. Use your power for good. Use your voice for good. I'm closing this out. You are so loved. You have so much potential. Remember why you came here. Ask your higher self, why did I come here? And allow yourself to be shown. Thank you so much for listening. If there's anything you want clarity on, like I said, comment below. If you would like a personal reading with me, a heart reading, an intuitive reading with me, check out my website, rosaliesjourney.com, and book a session with me. I also offer personal coaching. I offer also a 3-week intensive course to work through some major things. If you need that support and guidance, I'm your person. If you resonate with my energy, reach out to me. If you'd like to send me an email or would like to set up, I also offer a free 15-minute consultation. If you're like, I'm not really sure what to do with you, but I feel like I need to talk to you, schedule a 15-minute consultation call with me, and I'll be glad to figure out with you how we can work together. I'm an adaptable coach. I meet you where you are. I have been through so much in my personal journey that I'm able to resonate, not with everything, but if you resonate with my energy, more than likely there's something I've gone through that I may be able to assist you or channel, be a conduit for loving, healing energy, a healing work with you in some way. I also do distance Reiki healing as well as many other things. I'm a multifaceted and passionate creatrix. I do a lot of things. I'm a medicine woman. I'm a shaman. I can assist you on your journey work, understanding. I'm also a dream walker. So if there's dreams you're having and you're trying to understand what the heck does this mean, I may be able to provide you with some guidance, but I always am the type of coach or guide that's helping you help yourself. I'm not going to always give you the answers, but I'm a guide to help you unpack and unfold so you can see from a higher perspective, from different perspectives, what's going on so you can help yourself, because we all are self-healers. So I just want you to be your best. I want to help you remember who you are. Thank you for listening. It's an honor to be of service in this way, sharing these insights. And remember, all of these different beings that have come up in this insights are here to help you on your journey through this next course of this month, if not longer. Everything serves a purpose. Thank you for listening. Until next time, I am Rosalie Ina. Thank you, thank you, thank you.